All right. So again, thank you everyone for joining our webinar today, Exploring the Power of Direct Mail. Before we get started, we will be muting everyone while our guest speakers present. So if you have any questions, our experts can answer them after the presentation. As Nate mentioned, please feel free to raise your hand or use the chat box to ask your questions. So we will be recording the session so it can be reviewed at a later date. So watch your inboxes for more info on that. With all that said, I would love to introduce our guest speakers for today. We have Nate Schick, which many of you know. He is the co-founder of PostNow, who has made it easy and economical for small businesses to design and distribute high-quality direct mail campaigns. Combining his experience in digital marketing and lead generation with his understanding of the direct mail space, Nate strives to reduce the complexity of direct mail and provide small businesses with access to the same tools that are available to multi-million-dollar companies. In just a little bit, Nate is going to share his insight into digital marketing and lead generation. He'll also demonstrate how to create an effective direct mail campaign with the help of PostNow. But first up, we have Craig Freer, who is the president of One-to-One and the co-founder of PostNow. He began his journey with direct mail 26 years ago. Craig started with the most basic equipment and the commitment to his clients that he would help them with every step of their campaign. Fast forward to 2022, Craig's team has grown to 20 team members, all who are committed to helping their clients use direct mail in an impactful way to help grow their business. So let's welcome Craig to the stage.
Thank you, everybody. The biggest thing for us over the years is direct mail has evolved as digital mail has, digital printing, digital elements and components of, whether it's Google or Facebook. Mail sat stagnant for too long. And then it was realized that there's so much power in the postal code. There's so much knowledge in the people that live at each address. So Canada Post really started changing the dialogue out that we could talk to our customers about. But just like Jas was saying, it was meant for large companies, large enterprise companies. And like everything else, it takes time to filter through. Like, we all love our big customers, but I think a lot of us in business know that it's the individual customers, the smaller customers, who make up the majority of our business. So that's where we were able to build a product. So we're going to talk a little bit about direct mail to start, and then Nate's going to get into that part. So can everyone see my screen appropriately? The power of direct mail is the first one up.
Yep, looks good.
Good. Okay, let's get into this. Okay, so we came up with a term called FOMO, fear of mail-outs. We modified. We didn't come up with the term. We modified it to fear of mail-outs. Anxiety or fear of not knowing how to design, print, mail a campaign to target your ideal audience to ultimately drive your business goals. Again, not so hard when you have a large marketing department or even a marketing department of 1 or 2 people. But when you're a business owner and the money is, it's coming straight out of your pocket, any marketing you do, you got to be careful with it. You got to make sure you're getting the best bang for the buck. So what we really have done here over the years is we've helped our customers by taking that fear away. And then we've developed a tool that even makes it better, the marketing efforts better. So symptoms of FOMO, tried and failed. Sadly to say, that happens a lot. There are companies out there that may not have had the knowledge to do the campaign properly for you. You may have had a designer that best intentions, but they did not understand direct mail. You may have had a printer that whether it was a price point and recommended you order 10,000 postcards and send them out. There's many reasons why it's been tried and it's failed. No dedicated marketing team. We just talked about that. It's really hard if they don't have the proper tools. Audience targeting is a complex process. That is a huge one. Again, you could mail something out to an audience and it could miss hugely, whether it's your own personal database or it's a database or you've acquired a database or it's a neighborhood mail campaign. Time-consuming process to source vendors for design, print, and mail. Very true in most people's case. And the biggest one here, the severe symptom. CanadaPost.ca, Canada Post doesn't make it easy for us small businesses to operate. But I'll tell you the truth, they don't make it easy for anybody. So we're in this software every single day. We're doing multiple campaigns for customers. We truly understand how to work the Canada Post system to help our customers. Direct mail in a digital culture. We can't really do a show of hands so much, but I always ask people to think about the way they interact with their own mail. And when I say your own mail, it could be your spouse that takes care of the mail, but just think of the mail that comes into your home. When it's a transactional piece, like a bill from somebody, typically, yes, you're opening it, you're having to deal with it, you're having to make sure you're being charged the appropriate rates. If you're getting anything in from a financial advisor, you're looking at to see how the performance is. So, direct mail gets notice, opened, and read. That is true for advertised direct mail too, not just your transactional, but the mail is coming to you from a dealership. The mail is coming to you, from a realtor or someone that you've dealt with in the past, whether it's furniture purchase or such. So most people are opening and reading their mail. What's really impressive though is the 86% of Canadian consumers open mail that's personally addressed to them of all types of mail, regardless of who it's from. So if you're in a business and you want to prospect out to a certain type of customer that is ideal for your business, sending an address mail piece, you're going to get it opened, 8 to 9 times out of 10 at the audience, far greater than you would if you're doing targeting by digitally. Connectivity. So we talk in our conversation here about online marketing, because we know a tremendous number of companies are utilizing this for their business. But when you include direct mail in your marketing mix, you're going to increase the effectiveness of your digital campaigns. And that is tremendous because you're spending the money anyways. Why not bump up that effort? So you don't think of, well, I want to do a digital campaign. Maybe I'll do a mail campaign in June because, we're already committed to a couple campaigns. So the ability here is to increase the amount of response rate from your campaign. So why direct mail works? We're going to go back to that 86%. 86%, it gets opened. Oh, sorry. I'm going to follow what Nate is saying on I see the screen moving to my left here. I apologize. It gets noticed. So 74% of consumers always or sometimes notice advertising direct mail. 86% it gets opened. And 78% gets read. So from known local businesses, again, these are people that you've had a relationship with, or you have a relationship within the community. You have that reputation. You've been an established business, a known brand. So you tried direct mail at it and it failed. Let's address the facts. You only tried it once. The famous saying from our parents is, you fall off the bike, you get back on, you try again. With some guidance, some learnings as to what went wrong in the past. And that's something that we're really good at. We're really good at listening to the customers when they say that they have some challenges when they did it themselves, or this is what they experienced. We have customers that have said that they've done it multiple times and it's failed. We actually have one customer right now. Every time we do a campaign for him, he comes back and says, I did not get mine at my house. I did not get one at the neighbor's house type thing. So we work with them. We work to say, well, how can we see if your campaign is successful for you? Do we add a QR code, so that we can see if people are engaging with it? Not just because they aren't calling you at that time of year doesn't mean that they're not willing to engage with you. So we look at ways to help them. That in that case, that customer was definitely thinking that this is something that should work with him, but he wasn't seeing the activity that he was looking for. We're willing to have that conversation. We're willing to go into the corners, as they say, and find out what will work for that customer.
A note on this too is that, most of us have done digital marketing in some form or another too, and we all know that it's also not a one and done. Marketing is about frequency and making sure that you're hitting the same people multiple times so that they actually pay attention to your message. That 86% open rate that we brought up a couple times is such a big contrast to anything that you can get in digital, though, that the frequency with direct mail will have a greater impact than frequency with digital campaigns.
Correct. No valuable offer. This is a big issue out there. This is the incorrect design. So we are showing you a piece that we did for a customer back in Moncton, New Brunswick. And the reason we're sharing that with you, it was just, it's a plain piece. It didn't stand out. We're not saying it wasn't successful, based on the return for the customer, but what you're seeing on the left was a huge return for them. They sold out. Their goal was, I believe, 10 units. And if anyone here is online here has been in the automotive business, they sold over 20 units. They actually engaged with far more people. But some of you might be saying, well, the piece on the left is tacky. It's yellow, red. It's in your face. Well, if you look carefully at that piece of how much larger it is, it's 11 by 12 inches. When that went into a mailbox, that owned the mailbox. Is a reference we have in our business. It was the largest mail piece in that mailbox. If you were thinking of a vehicle and you were thinking of it around September 22nd, for a fact that this dealership was having a sale. It's covered. We made it generic, but it was a Winnipeg dealership, and it was more out there, Winnipeg Dodge type thing. You knew they were having a sale. And if you were interested in a vehicle, you were going in. Most of the people that thought that was tacky, that weren't looking for a vehicle, they weren't the customer anyways. The audience in this case was the people that were going to be in a market for a vehicle. They're looking for a deal, and this one screamed it. Oh, okay, great design, wrong audience. We love this slide because it's the old elephant in the room. A beautifully designed mail piece, but it doesn't say anything. It didn't say that it's to sell office furniture, computers, renovations, elephant rentals, anything like that. It was a beautiful design. It didn't go anywhere type thing. So this was a little bit of a humor one, because I think we've had that before where we worked with a designer and they may not have got what we were trying to get to. They're not conveying the information. We work with neuroscience in mind. So what we're thinking of there, when I say neuroscience, is where will people's eyes fall? Is there a call to action? Will people engage in that mail piece in roughly the 4 seconds that they'll focus on that? That's all we're asking for, is 4 seconds of their attention. If we can catch their attention, they'll give us a bit more time. Next slide there, Nate. Your mail piece didn't stand out in the mailbox. Again, another strong slide, because this is the reverse. If any of us have read the Where's Waldo to one of our kids, grandchildren, or if you read it yourself, we have people of various ages on here. The whole challenge was to find Waldo. In this case, if you're going to do something that's the same as everybody else, you're not going to get the attention. Facebook ads are kind of like that. Where you might be looking at a template and you're scrolling through and you're like, where's my ad? Like I built my ad to look like everybody else's in the same vertical. Direct mail allows you to stand out, whether it's the size of the mail piece, the imagery, etc. Top tips for boosting your campaign ROI: add personalization to your mail piece. Nate's going to be demonstrating PostNow that shows you how easy it is to acquire data to do if you don't have your own list. Rethink your data and audience strategy. Again, if we were talking to somebody who has a list, or even if you're doing a neighborhood mail campaign, don't think that you have to mail the same thing to everybody. With the technology that's out there right now, we have the ability to version multiple pieces. Even in a smaller campaign, we're one of those companies that we've excelled across Canada because we focus on the smaller campaigns. you can call them micro campaigns of 100, 150 pieces, up to 500 pieces to 1,000 pieces. We do a ton of those little jobs, and we're able to do multi versions within one campaign. Goal bold, execute fun ideas by adding texture in various paperweights, or even adding scent. That's something that some people don't realize how easy it is to add a scent to a mail piece to engage the consumer. So I'm going to hand it over to Nate, and we're going to show you another product called PostNow.ca. And this is the technology that we've developed over the years that enables us to have to allow customers of all sizes. We do have some very large companies using it, but it allows people to build a campaign similar to how you would go and do e-commerce shopping. So Nate, off to you.
Yep. Thanks, everybody. So before I jump in, I do want to kind of paint a scenario of what I'm gonna show you today. Here's the scenario. We are. I'm going to act as a home service business. I'm looking to connect with my customers of the past 5 years. I know that because of Castle and anti-spam laws, I can't reach out to them via email lists anymore. So direct mail is a great option for me. The challenge is that lists may not be big. I don't have my own artwork, and I just need help. And so I'm going to jump out of this presentation, and give me a second here. Let's get into PostNow here.
Hey Nate, while you're doing that, this is Richard speaking. Being in the awards and personalization industry, we did studies. I was part of the executive council of that association, and they did a test, and a product, whatever it might be, let's just call it a mug or something, has a company logo. The minute you put Joe's name on that mug, the perceived value of that product skyrockets from 10 to 35 times higher the minute you put somebody's name on it. It's a pain in the ass to do, but it's also extremely valuable.
Yeah, and I think that really plays into personalized mail in general, which is what we're going to talk about today for the most part, is that the value of personalization is understated in marketing, because it hasn't been the reality in anything except for email. Facebook hasn't allowed personalization yet. So you're left with direct mail, and the things that you can do with direct mail and a printer and that has variable printing capabilities is pretty amazing. And so I guess whether that's promotional material or print, yeah, there's a big draw there, right? That 86% of mail being opened because it's addressed to somebody is like, people love their name. So yeah, thanks, Richard. This is PostNow. I'm going to poke you around a little bit, and then we're going to build that campaign that we're talking about. So if you haven't created an account on here, you can just click the login button to create an account. That will take you to the registration page or the login page. I've got a demo account I'm going to pop into here. And while we log in here, let's poke around a little bit. So under our designs tab, we have an entire design library. We're adding more and more to this, so you can browse through a bunch of our various designs. And what's nice is they're presented pretty easily here. We have a full filter search capabilities where you can select different mail types. You can select different categories, different goals, size formats, just to get some ideas. And whether you use our templates in PostNow or your own, it doesn't really matter. We're there to make sure it's printed properly for you. So if you open them up, you'll find a little bit more details, including better views of the front and back. Yeah, just a little bit more information. There's pricing right on each design as well. And so you'll see the different types of mail that you can send it out with. You can calculate costs just by entering a number into the cost calculator. You'll notice that as you go up, print rates change, your postage rates don't. For those of you with Canada Post contract rates, that does get built into the system, so that's available. There's also in here an audience builder and an audience manager. And so one of the things with direct mail is trying to be consistent and finding ways to save those audiences, both either at the mail house that you're working with or internally. And so this tool lets you do that yourself, where if you build an audience with our postal code tool, or you create a campaign with one of your own audiences, we're going to save that for future use for you. And so you'll notice in here, I've got some neighborhood mail audiences, some personalized mail audiences, a bunch of postal code targeting audiences. If we get time, I'm going to show you how we build audiences with postal codes at the end of this. But for now, I think we should just jump into building that campaign. So just to recap, let's call me a plumber or a furnace guy, and I'm going to reach out to my past customers, offer them a tune-up or a humidifier or something. So let's do, you're going to give your campaign a name. And as you go, you're guided through the process. So each question will either open up new options or bring you closer to the end. On the left side here, you'll notice a campaign summary. And that will fill in with details as you go through the campaign. So we're going to close that off for now, though. We also have live chat on the site, which shows up after you've been on a page for a little bit. There we go there. So if I had questions, I can chat with someone live. You can reach out to us directly for any help as well. And then any campaign that you do put through here goes through our account managers, where we're able to verify that you're following best practices. We make any recommendations and tweaks before your campaign actually goes to print and mail. So personalized mail is what we're going to do today. You get to pick a date. You'll notice that you can pick dates upwards of 5 days in the future. And so we're able to design, print, and get your campaign inducted to Canada Post in about 5 days. Sometimes it's a little bit quicker, but you're able to pick the earliest day that we can get that done for you. So we're going to upload a customer data file this time. If I had wanted to use one of my existing audiences, though, I can choose to use one of my existing audiences, select an audience from the dropdown, and it'll autofill different information in your campaign order. So we're going to go down here. This is where I can calculate the cost of my campaign. And with our personalized mail campaigns, we offer a few different options for campaigns. So we do a letter in an envelope, a double-sided postcard, and then a holiday invitation, which is a large folded postcard in a nice envelope. So as you type in prices, you'll notice that your price per piece and your overall campaign totals are represented here. As I go up to about 1,500 or 1,000 pieces, I do see those print prices drop pretty substantially. So we're going to do a 1,000-piece campaign here.
That's something that, sorry to interrupt there,
Yeah.
Nate. We just talked about this yesterday. We failed to mention this. When we developed this product, part of it was also for the small mailer or small mail campaigns to be able to take advantage of reasonable pricing. You know, so if you're looking to do a campaign and you looked at the prices here, it says, well, you know, $1,000, you know, $600, or sorry, 1,000 pieces, $600 to do a letter into an envelope, and you were to price out all the different parts of building that, you're going to find our prices are very competitive when we on this platform. You know, compared to doing a one-off, and you know, whether you're coordinating the print yourself, coordinating the design yourself, things like that. So not only did we build it to make it efficient for you, we made it cost efficient. And that's something we keep forgetting to mention, that
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times the prices are just too high for a small campaign. You'll be quite happy when you see our prices.
Yeah, I think 1,000-piece neighborhood mail campaign at standard postage rates works out to, what is it, $430, $440?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Design, printed, and mailed.
Designed, printed, and mailed. Yeah. So anyways, we're doing this in personalized mail one, though. So I'm going to do a double-sided postcard just for simplicity today. I don't have a design, as I mentioned, so I'm going to select from the template gallery. And you'll notice down here, here's a bunch of those templates, all the ones that match the format that I picked. So I'm only seeing postcards. If I wanted to, and I wanted to change to letters and envelopes instead, then the design gallery options will change, and I'll be presented with all of the letter option designs that are within the system. So same thing though, if I didn't want to use the template gallery and I had my own design, then I could upload a design here. I'm just going to drag a file in here. So if you have print ready files, you can upload them directly to here, and then we're ready to print that for you. Or you can select a custom design. The custom design we make for you. It's your design that you can use in the future as well. And if you do use it in the future, we customize it for free in the future in the terms of changing your messaging, changing imaging. But we're going to do the template gallery here. Let's do something like this. You can expand these to view the various templates that are in here. There's industry filters. So same thing, if I wanted to look for certain categories of industries, I can search further in here to find the right ones. If I find anything, we'll get back to the regular ones here. We're just going to select this guy. And then that's it. Oh, sorry, data. I guess I need my data. I've got my data file ready. And so I'm going to find it on my desktop here. So I've uploaded my data. That goes to the data team. And we clean up your data for free, which includes formatting it properly for direct mail, which we'll give back to you in that formatted fashion so that you know how to provide data in the future. And we run it through the national change of address. And so that'll knock out your deceased, those that have potentially moved outside of your area. And we can, ideally, we eliminate bad records for you so that your campaign is more profitable and you have a higher ROI. And then for those of you that want to make sure your data is maintained properly, there's data retention policies, where if you'd like us to keep it for 12 to 24 months, you can select that option. If you want it to be gone for a bit, we'll go back there. So yeah, we'll go back to that pricing in a second here. But that's it. I'm done the campaign. So I'm going to agree to the terms and conditions. And then maybe one thing, if I wasn't done with the campaign at any point where I get stuck, if my data wasn't ready and I wanted to finish it, if I wanted to finish a design, I can save the progress of this campaign. And it'll give you a little link that you can email to yourself or save. And when you go back to that link, which I'm going to click on, it'll reload all of the settings that you've already selected. So you can see everything's all ready to go here. Oh, save. And you can generate your campaign. So when you generate your campaign, it can take a little bit of time. What's happening is that the template that you selected gets put into our design proofing system. And this is the tool that some of you, if you've worked with us for a while, have probably experienced at some point. We're going to get to that at some point here. I'm just going to leave a note for the campaign. I've got a coupon for myself. So if you had, I think we have an intro coupon that you get when you sign up for a little discount off of your print there. This is just for me to skip the credit card payment. I'm going to place this order. This goes right into our production team, so they start working on your order right away. And that includes working on your template design, cleaning up data, and getting it prepped for mail. On your receipt screen, you'll notice at the top is a link to add comments or design changes to your uploaded mail template or the one you selected. And so when you select that, it's going to hop to a different tab for me here. Ooh, bear with me. Go to the proofing. When you go to the proofing, the project will be in there, and you can start leaving comments in it. It might take a minute or two to finish processing, so we're going to go to a different one here to show you the proofing system. So our proofing portal is one of our clients' favorite tools. And the reason for that is there's a lot of little design tools online that make you change your own content, change your own images, drag stuff around. A lot of us are just not designers. We're business owners. We're good at what we do, but we're not designers. And so we don't want you to have to do that. And so this system just lets you click and request changes. So I want to change this to my logo. If we already have it, that's all you need to do. If we didn't have it, you can attach it directly. And so you can find what you'd like to upload. Let's just find something here. So you can upload images, you can upload text files if you have information you want us to change. And then when it finishes uploading here, let's give it a second. You can add that goes right to our design team so they know what you want to change. And they can communicate back and forth with you. You're able to see different versions of your template as it progresses. And this really speeds up processes. If you have other team members that need to be added to the project, you can do that as well. And so there's ways for you to share the project as well as approve it directly from here too. And so once you approve the piece, this one's already approved, but that goes to our print team. They're able to kick it off to the printers right away, and that progresses your campaign down the process. So that's pretty much it to build and manage a campaign from start to finish. Everything else we handle on our end. So the data, the design, all of the paperwork, the hard stuff, the time-consuming pieces. Richard, you asked about prices on some pieces here. If you go to PostNow, we have an entire campaign calculator, so you don't even have to go deep. And so under the Smart Mail menu link here is a cost calculator. This is available to you even if you're not logged in. And this is our most up-to-date standard campaign pricing. For those clients that we work with a lot, your account would see different pricing models in it. So from here, you can type in that quantity. You said 500. We're doing a 5.5 by 8.5 postcard. And I think you said personalized, right? It's personalized mail. So you're 43 cents a piece at 500. At 1,000, you are not $1. Oh, that's 100. Sorry. You're 27 cents a piece.
Designed, printed, mailed.
So that's the demo. There's probably a couple questions. I'm going to take 5 minutes though. I do want to show you our audience builder. So this is the first in Canada that is utilizing Canada Post's postal code data to create these micro campaign audience lists. So there's no other public tools out there that let you do this. You do need an account with us to do this, but we're going to make a sample. Oh, let's target condo building.
Yeah, a very good one for realtors.
So you can do this personalized mail or postal code targeting. The difference between the two is that a personalized mail campaign is you're going to be able to purchase you're going to be able to rent name and address data. So if you don't have that name data for a particular area that you want to target, this lets you do that. And so to that comment of 86% of address pieces being opened, this is how you could do that to an audience you didn't know. So you get better penetration with a personalized mail campaign than you can with a neighborhood mail campaign. You just got to buy that data. In the past, this has only been available if you were buying upwards of 3,000 to 5,000 names or address records. And so that was a pretty heavy cost if you wanted to do a small campaign. Our system has a minimum data cost of $50 for 333 records, at which point it's 15 cents per record. So it makes it very affordable to do small campaigns. And so you can build this with two different tools. You can use an address lookup or a bulk postal code lookup. If you have bulk postal codes from like a customer data list, here, I'm just gonna, so for example, we're gonna here's a list of postal codes from a customer list. And if I fetch the count, it's going to return the number of households available that I could target within those postal codes. And so from there, I can add this to my finalized audience list down here, which will build out and give me my final totals. If I wanted to keep building this audience, I could do it with our address postal code lookup. And so this is 1 by 1. And so this is more if you know a particular address. So for a real estate agent, for example, if you saw a house that went up for sale and you wanted to target all the neighbors, or you put a house up for sale and you wanted to target all the neighbors really easily, and you maybe didn't know the postal code off the top of your head, I can just start typing that address. I'm going to find it here, and it's going to return the exact number of houses available, 16, in that postal code area. And if I want to add that to my campaign list, I just toggle the button. When I want to add another row, I click the button. It's going to add another list here. What's neat with postal codes is that you can target like a little mini chunk of a street. So it's usually all the houses on one side of a street between, 2 avenues. Or you can target an entire condo building, where each condo building tends to have its own postal code. And so there's one in Mississauga that I'm going to target here. It's a pretty big one. If I wanted to target that particular building, that one alone has 428 units that I could target with that postal code. And so I'm going to add that one as well to my audience. And so there's my audience. And what's neat about postal code targeting, whether you're using it for personalized mail or a PCT campaign, is that they don't need to be in the same city. They don't need to be in the same province. And so, yes, delivery is going to take a little bit longer the further away from the induction point, but you can really create amazing campaigns with ease that you couldn't do in the past. And so if I'm happy with this audience, I'm going to get presented with how much it would cost to send out to that 1,400 people that I've added, based on the different types. You'll notice this is a little bit higher because there is a data cost associated with these records. But I'm going to save this audience. And so the next time I go and build a campaign, this audience is available for me to pick from that dropdown, which means I can build my campaign even faster. A few minutes for me to get a campaign ready to go. So once this is, so that's pretty much it.